Is up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the AK Show with your boy AK the Ref. How is everybody doing on this Sunday? Hope everybody had a fabulous week so far. Had a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in. You truly are the best. You beautiful people. You know what? You just making it through another week. This one's for you. We are here. Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Per usual, don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Also, episodes audio versions will also be released on Spotify, and some other things. I gotta see. I gotta still getting that sorted out. But right now, audio version of the podcast is on Spotify. Video version is on the YouTube channel. It'll be on the YouTube first, and then the Spotify. You can look for me on Spotify, AK the Ref. Google it. You'll find it. The latest episodes on there as well. Audio version, video versions on the YouTube channel, AK the Ref, the podcast. We here. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I really do appreciate it. It's been a minute. Had some stuff had to take care of, just family stuff. Had a death in the family on my wife's side. Her grandmother died, was 97. Rest in peace to her grandmother. She lived a long life, so we had a funeral this past Tuesday because she passed the week before last, and then the funeral wasn't until the following week. So yeah, we had to go out there for a couple days in Garden City, Kansas for the funeral. But yeah, it was sad. I hate going to funerals. I hate when people pass away. And it's just, as we're getting older now, it's like, we got to start taking care of ourselves as you get older. You should be doing that before you get old. But even as you get older, you got to start taking care of yourself. I plan to work out after I record this today because I need to work out. I've been slacking. I've been really slacking. But yeah, man, it's just, I just don't like going to funerals. It's so sad. Reminds me of my dad when he passed away in 2013, and every time I think about that, I still cry. Yeah, you'll never get over losing a parent before you. I think you're supposed to, because I was like 29, 30 years old when he passed away. A little over 12 years. It would be 12 years this October. So 2013 would have been it would be 12 years this October since he passed. So you never get over that. It's always tough losing a family member and things like that. I don't, I hate funerals. I hate it. I wish we just all somehow just live forever. That'll be something. But you know what it is. It's part of life. You just gotta learn to deal with it. You just have to. It's part of life. You just gotta learn. You just gotta do it. Now, listen, just because it's a part of life doesn't make it easy. You just have to learn to live with it, to deal with it, and find your time to grieve. You do have to grieve because if you don't grieve, it will eat you up. It will eat you up. You gotta keep living. Also, at the same time, you gotta grieve. Like I said, I'll think of my dad every so often, and I'll start crying out of nowhere. I'll be like, I got ugly cry. I don't like to show it, but yeah. But you just gotta learn to live with it and grieve. Like if somebody close to you passes away, grieve. It's okay. Cry. It helps. Don't think that just because they pass away, their memory can live forever. They're with you in spirit. They're with you in spirit. I always believe. My dad's here in spirit because every time we're in the house and lights start flickering, I'll be like, yeah, that's him. That's him. And then sometimes I'll just have like random ass dreams where I don't even be thinking about it. Maybe subconsciously I'll be thinking about him, but there'll be sometimes I just have these random ass dreams with him in it, with my dad in it, and it'll just be like, that was weird, but I wasn't even thinking about him. But when I do think about him, or I start crying, I don't have those type of dreams. This just be like, just out of the blue, I had these dreams. I'll have a dream about him, and I'll be like, that was the weirdest dream. I don't know, maybe his spirit talking to me and things like that. I do believe in all that. Oh yeah, I do believe. Like if you see lights flickering in the house, it's probably a family member that was close to you. That's just like they're still here. They're still watching over you. But yeah, that's the reason we had a family death in the family. So that's why there was no episode last week. We take care of that. I mean, so I was on spring break. As a teacher, it was our spring break. It was my children's spring break. We thought the funeral was going to be that week, but I guess the pastor was out of town, so it was the following week. So I just didn't feel like recording. But yeah, now we're back. We're here, ready to go. got kind of a new setup in the background. Just wanted to go somewhere new and put some of my posters up. I got the Last of Us poster. I got a Black Panther poster. I got a Doctor Strange in the Multiverse poster. I just love movie posters. So yeah, just I got these at a store. They're like $10 at an entertainment mart, the one in Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas. If you're familiar with that, if you're listening to this and you're not from the Kansas City area, Oak Park Mall is like basically the only mall, really. Aside from the Legends, I take it back. There's two, the Legends and KCK, and then Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas. But they got this store called Entertainment Mart. They sell comic books there. They sell old stuff. It's like vintage stock. I want to say it's called Entertainment Mart, but I think they're still part of vintage stock. I'm not sure. But they got you can buy Nintendo, you can buy Sega Genesis, 64, you can buy like all this old stuff. They got VHS tapes, they got DVDs, and they got comic books and all this other stuff, but they already have the section of movie posters. Me and my daughter, every time we go to the mall, we're like, I'm going here to see what posters they have, because she has the Black Panther one. We bought two of them, and she has a Doctor Strange one in her room, and so we bought two of those each. And I saw The Last of Us. This is from the TV show, the one on HBO on Max. Got a new season coming out. Oh my god, yes, there's a new season two's coming out this April. I'm so excited. I just thought of that. I fucking love this fucking game. The fucking greatest game ever. The Last of Us. The Last of Us Part 2, the video game. When I played The Last of Us the first time, I said to myself, this is the greatest game ever. I don't care. To me it is. To me it is. Like, I'm not some game aficionado. I'm not like that. Like, people would sit here and probably say GoldenEye is the best game. I hated that game growing up, and I still do. But to me, this is the greatest game ever made. And then part two came out. I was like, oh, bro, let's go. It's the greatest franchise. It's right now. It's the greatest franchise. I don't care. But I'm excited for The Last of Us season 2 to come out. That's gonna be intense. It's gonna be so emotional. Like, if you haven't played part 2 of The Last of Us, just get ready. You watched part 1, season 1 on Max. You thought that was emotional. Just wait till you watch season 2. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. But yeah, back to I get these posters. We go and we look, and they have all types of like movie style posters. I was like, I saw these three. I was like, I gotta get them. There's also a screen poster. I don't have that up yet because it has autographs on it, and I want to get one more autograph on it. I'll get to that in a minute. But we got that. There's that. I've seen the Back to the Future poster. I want to get that one next time I go. But they have I think they had a Mario Kart one. They've had like old school comic book Captain America and Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man from like the comics type poster. They have this one. It's got like all the horror villains on it, like Ghostface, Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Chucky, like all the OG original ones. They have one with that on it. I was like, that'd be dope to have. They have ones with rappers on it. Tupac. They have one with like a group of artists on it. They just have different ones. Different ones. I'm always go in there, whatever piques my interest. If I see something like, yeah, I'm getting this. I mean, like one time I walked out there with two of them, like walking down, like, let's go, I'm ready to go. Because they're just big, you don't have it in a bag to put them in. But yeah, I like going to the store. I like movie posters. Like, eventually, when I get like my setup, yeah, I'm gonna have this type of stuff in the background, like my sports trading cards, like the autographed jersey. I think you've seen it in other episodes where I got the Mahomes and Kelsey autographed jersey. But yeah, I have other stuff that I like to put there. I just gotta find space and create this space. So I'm trying out this area. I got the posters in the background. Probably gonna have them the official background because everybody's got their background. Me, I like movies. I like this type of stuff. I'm a nerd, bro. I'm a nerd. I didn't like not comic books. Like, I didn't grow up reading comics, but I enjoy all of this. I enjoy TV shows. I enjoy movies. I enjoy animated stuff and cartoons and like watching all these and like what is it? Like The Incredibles and Toy Story. Hell yeah, I grew up on Toy Story. Come on now. Like what, 10 years old when the first Toy Story came out? And then we went to the movie theaters to watch number three and number four. Number four. With the Sporky. But yeah. Yeah. So I like all this shit. I'm a nerd. I'm a shit. We last weekend went to Comic Con, Planet Comic Con in Kansas City. So yeah. But that's what I'm going today. We'll talk about our time at Comic Con, and then I want to get into this Disney slash Marvel announcements from this past week, especially the announcement on Avengers Doomsday. Yeah, I want to get into that. So that's where we're going today. We're going all entertainment stuff today. I'm talking about what we did at Planet Comic Con this past weekend, last weekend, and then talk about a couple of Disney announcement in Marvel's big announcement of cast members. You know what I'm talking about. But so yeah, like I said, like I'm a nerd. I think I'm a nerd. I watch pro wrestling for. I'm involved in pro wrestling. Yes, I'm a nerd. Look at my shirt. Look at it. Yeah, if you know that, it's from the Scream movie, the Scream franchise. That's one of my favorite like horror type slasher films. Is the Scream franchise. I love it. I don't know why. I just love it. I love all of them. To be honest, all of them. I love all. I mean, yeah, the OG original ones, 1 through 3, yeah. But I love 4, 5, 6, and 7's coming out next year. I'm excited. My daughter's, my youngest, enjoy Scream as well. But she loves the movie. My oldest daughter's watched it too, but my youngest, me and her, we love the Scream franchise. Like I said, it's one of my top franchises. In like the first original OG Scream is one of my favorite. If I had to like pick top 10 movies, Scream would be in there. It definitely would. The first one. It definitely would. But I love the franchise as a whole. I love the new sets of characters because they even mix in the old set of characters. So yeah, I mean I love the Scream franchise. So last weekend we went to Planet Comic Con. I took my daughters. We went on Saturday, but this was my second year of volunteering because I was like, yeah, I'll go volunteer because you get perks. You get a free pass to go that day, or you can get a 3-day pass depending on how many hours you work. But I enjoy volunteering. It's cool. You get to be with other people that are like minded like you in that type of space, in that type of area of like we like this type of stuff. The Last of Us. We like Marvel. We like superhero movies. You know, DC. I fucks with DC too. We like video games. Or people like comics. They like this different type of stuff that is in that type of space. And so volunteering is like, yeah, let's go. Because last year I volunteered for the first time, and then that's when like a lot of the screencast was there. The only person that didn't show up was Nev Campbell. She was originally supposed to show up, but due to filming conflicts, she didn't show up, so she wasn't there last year. And then this year, they brought two of the people back from Scream that played Billy and Stu, Matthew and Screech. And then, yeah, but I'll get to that in a second. They brought them back this year. They also had Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown from Back to the Future, and the judge from Roger Rabbit. He played Angels in the Outfield, Page Master. He played Dennis the Menace. What else did he play? What else did Christopher Lloyd? He played a lot, but yeah, you know Christopher Lloyd as Doc Emmett Brown from the Back to the Future trilogy. But so he was there, and I was like, oh yeah, we're definitely going again. Well, I was going to go regardless, and I was going to volunteer. So I volunteered. I did a shift on Wednesday to help get stuff sorted, and then I worked Friday. I did one of the panel rooms. It was a smaller panel, Planet Comic Con. So it wasn't the big giant room, grand ballroom, but it was like they have smaller panels, and I worked the panel room like for 8 hours straight, which it was easy. Just sit there, like the people that walk into the panel, and then after it's over, clean up a little, make sure nobody left anything, wipe down the microphones for the next guest. But one of the panels I sat in, I thought was pretty cool, was the guy that voices Barney. You know, from Barney back in the day. I mean, that's probably my age group and older, maybe a little bit younger than me too. Probably that 35 or older age group. They had that Barney, so it was the voice of Barney. He did a panel. I thought that was cool. The only thing I felt bad for is like as the time he was doing his panel, David Tennant, who was one of the Doctor Who characters. Yeah, Doctor who played Doctor Who, was one of the versions of Doctor Who. He had his same panel at the same time as the guy that does the voice of Barney, but Barney still had like 20 something people in there, but the other guy had like a lot of people. David Tennant had a lot of people. Yeah, I thought that was cool. I was like, this is dope. This is dope. You know, I grew up. Everybody probably watched Barney as a kid in that time period. If you're around my age or older, you watch Barney. Probably like a 35, probably 40, 45-year old in that age gap. You watch Barney, you know Barney. And so he was talking and just going over, and they had the person asking him questions and just kind of just chatting away, and then some of the other people got to ask questions, and then he did the Barney voice. I thought that was dope. But then I sat there through some other panels. There was another girl, another she's older now. She was from another cartoon that it was before my time. Then they had some other speakers that talked about like dressing up as cosplay. Had another panel that talked about how to do your makeup. I was like, this is dope. This is my type of crowd. Like I'm a nerd. Like I said, I watch pro wrestling. What do you expect? I'm in pro wrestling. Like if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you can't get into pro wrestling now, then I just don't know what to tell you, to be honest. Come on now. But yeah, that was fun. And then I was supposed to work Sunday, but we were leaving Sunday to go to town for the family thing. So I picked up a shift Saturday morning just to help with line control as the doors open. Did that, and then my girls got dropped off, and then we went, and then we stood in line. I mean, we literally had two things we wanted to do, and I'll get to like how I think you should do Comic Con if you go. But with us, we just went the one day and we did it last year, and I was able to get a couple autographs after one of my shifts. Where the girls, my daughters didn't go with me, but I went by myself because I worked a shift on Sunday the last day and I was able to get a few more autographs. But they just went Saturday, and our only two goals were to get Matthew Lillard's autograph on the screen poster, because on that poster, we took it last year, we got the girl that played Sam, Melissa, I believe is her name. She played Sam in the Scream franchise. She's no longer in it for speaking out on her beliefs, but we got her autograph last year. My daughter took a picture with her last year. I also got Screech on one of the days on Sunday when I worked and then stood in his line. Also got Jamie Kennedy's autograph on it. So we had those three, but our goal this year was to get his autograph on the poster for my daughter, because after I get it all autographed and I get it encased and things like that, it's going to hang up in my daughter's room because that's for her. And then our other goal was just to get a picture with Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd. So I'm going to speak on this. Like I said, we went Saturday, and so we were like, we have the whole day. Like, I'm gonna get off. I got off from my shift about 11 o'clock. I was like, just drop them off. We'll go. We'll see if we can get this. Like, it was done at 7. I know Matthew Lillard and Screech had they had a panel at like 6 o'clock. So I was like, okay, I think we have plenty of time. We started as soon as they got dropped off, and I had to change out of my crew shirt and badge and just put on like my Back to the Future shirt. I was like, we rolled up before they even got there. I went to the line of Christopher Lloyd at his booth, and it was already capped. I was like, oh my god, it's already capped. And so I asked the crew people that were there working his line. I was like, when should we come back? They're like, come back in a couple hours. So my kids get there. I go to pick them up outside and take them back upstairs. I was like, okay, his line's already capped. I found out Matthew Lillard's line's already capped too. There's like come back around 4 or 5, 3 or 4. And so I was like, okay, so what y'all want to do? You want to go walk around, come back in a couple hours, or just stand here and wait till it opens for Christopher Lloyd? So we went. My daughter, my oldest daughter, was like, we're just gonna stand here and wait. I was like, okay, cool, because we just wanted to get a picture, and the easiest way that we could have got a picture was just buy a photo op at the professional photo op. But with the photo op, it's just like you go in there, you take the picture, you're done. You're in and out in like 5 seconds. I was like, at least if you go to their booth, you got time to like kind of meet them, shake their hand, have a little quick conversation or two, have a quick exchange of words. You get to go there, you just take the pictures and stand behind them, whatever, however the case may be, and they may come up, you may be able to say something and things like that. You get more of an interaction if you go to their booth compared to if you're just going to the photo op. Now, if you're going to the photo op and you like, because you want to go to the booth to get an autograph and then you want the professional printout picture, I get that. But we just wanted the picture, and we were just like, we just want to take the selfie. Because the night before, I should have told my daughters earlier in the day, but I told him, I was like, yeah, you should make artwork. You should make, my oldest made artwork. She did artwork drawing a Back to the Future cover from like the first one to give to Christopher Lloyd. And then my other daughter, and I'll put the artwork right there. It's going to go right there. So and then my other daughter made a artwork of a Scream mask and like thing like that with the knife and a little drip of blood that she was going to give to Matthew Lillard. So there's the artwork for the Back to the Future. There's the artwork for the Scream. But and there's the picture my daughter took. There's the picture we took of Christopher Lloyd, and she has the artwork right there. She gave it to him. And there's a picture of her giving him the artwork. And then there's my daughter. Took a picture of Matthew Lillard giving her with the artwork in the background. He's pointing at it, so it was dope. I'll get to that in a second. But we had that. They had the artwork. I was like, we're just gonna stay here and see if they open up the line. I swear, after they got there, they switched people, like who was controlling the end of the line, and then another person came up that was working on Celebrity Row is what they call it. And they have all the celebrities, and they always have crew members, and they're always in different color shirts if you're working like Celebrity Row. And they're like, hey, we're gonna open up the line right now. So we just jumped in line. We're like, okay, we're in line. Mind you, it was like 11:30. Line at 11:30. He went to 30 minutes roll by. He went to lunch. He came back. He ate a quick lunch. He wasn't even gone that long. He came back, signed a couple more autographs, took pictures, selfies behind his booth, and then he had to go do his photo op. And so he had to do two photo ops. He had to do one by himself, and then he had to do one with Christine Ricci, who played Wednesday in the original Addams Family movie. They did the duo because she was also there, so her booth was right next to his. But so we had to wait till he got back. I think he got back right around because he went to lunch at like noon. He came back like at 12:15. He wasn't gone that long. He signed a few more autographs, and then at like 1, he had to go do his photo op, and that took about an hour. Then he came back, and then once he came back, the line started moving a little bit more quickly. And like with Christopher Lloyd, like I was seeing some of the people that got his autograph, he signs out his full name, like Christopher Lloyd. It is a very beautiful signature. If you get a chance, go like search up his like autograph. I was looking at people walking by when they're getting done, and like he signs out his full entire name, which I can appreciate that. I can appreciate it. You taking the time to sit there and fill out your whole name like that, and it's legible. It's not like it's just like chicken scratch. It's like legible, like that's his autograph. That's his autograph. And I was like, that's dope. That's dope. So I was like, we just gonna get through this line. I think we got to him around little after 3. So we were in line from like 11:30 to a little after 3 o'clock. We finally got there. I was like, I asked my daughter while I were in line, I was like, what are you gonna say to him when you hand him your artwork? I was like, and before we even like get to that part, I always ask like somebody that's like by his booth, like, hey, is he accepting fan artwork to take? And they're like, yeah, yeah. Because sometimes, because you don't want to go there and like, this is for you. And they're like, they're not accepting fan artwork. I always like to ask in advance, even though she made it. And if they said no, then I'll be like, that's fine. But I always like to ask before we get up there to make sure, that celebrity is accepting fan artwork. Because, some might not. And they'll be like, no, not right. I don't know. You never know. It's always good to ask. Like if you go to Comic Con and you make artwork or your kid makes artwork for the celebrity, fan artwork to give to them, always ask before you go up to the booth. While you're in line, if you ask one of their handlers, be like, hey, are they accepting fan artwork? Don't ask like a volunteer that's working it. Ask one of the handlers that's like taking the money. And he's like, hey, are they accepting fan artwork? And they'll let you know yes or no. But yeah, so he was accepting fan artwork. We get up there. I'm like, this is dope. Like I grew up watching Roger Rabbit and Angels in the Outfield and Back to the Future and Dennis the Menace. So that was like in the Page Master. That was like all my childhood. And so I'll get to what I said to him in a minute. Like you gotta remember, this man's 86 years old, and it is fucking awesome that he is out here still going to Comic Cons and sitting there at 86 years old, signing autographs and taking pictures and shaking hands. I hope to be 86. I hope to be doing shit like that. I still hope to be out and about. Like I was even looking, like he's doing a Comic Con with like Michael J. Fox, the girl that played Jennifer, the first one that played Jennifer, not Elizabeth, not the second version of Jennifer, not the other girl they had to cast, but and Biff. It's the principal. I think it's also Biff, but also the principal. They're doing like a whole thing in, I think it's Canada, because I looked it up. I was like interested. I was like, oh, they're doing that in Canada. He's still out here just doing these Comic Cons at 86 years old. I'm like, I could fucks with it. There's like a lot of older people doing like way back in the day. They're like 60, 70 years old plus out here coming to Comic Con, and I think it's the dopest shit. And like Christopher Lloyd is like the nicest, one of the nicest humans. Like he's just so great. Like he's old and he's sitting there, and my daughter gave him the artwork. Took a sip of his drink. He's looking at the artwork. He's like reading the name at the bottom because I told my daughter, sign your artwork, sign your full name by this person. He's reading it. He saw the last name. He was like Kennedy. He was like, what's the first name? And he's like, I don't know if he's got something wrong with his vocals, but he doesn't talk as loud as he's probably used to. He's 86 years old. And then he's like, what is your first name? He was like, Ariana. She was like, Ariana. He's like, oh, Ariana Kennedy. And he was like, oh, I love this. And so we all went behind him. He held it up. We took a picture. I was like cheesing like a motherfucker. I was like, this is dope. And then before he left, I told him, I was like, so nice to meet you. I shook his hand. I was like, Back to the Future and like Roger Rabbit were my childhood growing up. Those the trilogy and the movie, I was like, that was my childhood growing up, and I appreciate your work. And he learned at me. He's like, thank you. Shook my hand and smiled. I was like, this is dope. This is dope. I gotta get that picture printed out. Like I don't look at it you take the picture, you look at it while you're at Comic Con, and then you move on. You post it on your socials. But now I'm thinking like, I saw somebody at work. the other day, and they have a scrapbook, and they were like, "Yeah, I make a scrapbook because when the picture's on your phone, you don't really look at it." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get this picture printed out. Any pictures that I want, that are on my phone, I should just print them out and just scrapbook." I know that's old. People don't make scrapbooks, but I mean, even last year we went to Planet Comic Con, we got a photo out with like the Screamcast. We got a photo up with Paul Bettany that plays Vision in the Marvel movies, and we got those pictures printed out. I also got a picture with the girl that Danielle Fish that plays Topanga on Boy Meets World. I need to get those pictures printed out. I want to get this one of Christopher Lloyd printed out, and then one where my daughter got printed out. She took a picture with Matthew Lillard, got his autograph. I want to get that printed out and just I can go to Walgreens and get this shit printed out and just put it in a scrapbook or put it like frame it and put it up. Oh yeah, that's what I want to do. That's really what I want to do. I want to frame these pictures and put them up and have them out so I can just look at them. I don't remember that. That was dope. Because if it's in my phone, I'm gonna forget it. Like, no, I'm not gonna forget this now, but like 6 months from now, I'm gonna be like, oh, and it pops up in my memories a year from now where I was like, oh, this was a year ago. Oh, I forgot about this. But if I have it up, I can look at it. Like, that's what I want to do. But yeah, we got through there. It was totally worth it. I didn't care. I called my wife. She called. What happened? I was like, yeah, we just got through the line. We took a picture. It was great. And then she's like, you stood in line that's longer than Disney lines. But you got to understand. I get what you're saying. It's like Disney standing in line for Disney. But you got to understand. When we got in line, he signed some autographs. He took a lunch. He came back. Signed some more autographs, took some more pictures. Had to go do the photo op. So we had to wait on that. Like, if you take out like him going to lunch and doing the photo op for an hour, it's probably not that long of a line to get through in that time frame. But it was going to lunch, coming back, then going to do the photo ops, and then coming back. Once he came back, I started moving fairly smooth. It was like, you know, I thought it was moving at a good rate. So we get through with that, and then I was like, okay, we got done because left line a couple times, go get drinks, go get water for my daughters, go use the bathroom, and then at one point I think I went over to Matthew Lillard's line, and he had like a short line, but they were handing out wristbands for people to come back at certain times, and the only way to get one of those wristbands was to get there before as soon as the doors open, which I couldn't because I was volunteering, and I wasn't going to tell my daughter to come over there at 10 o'clock. Hey, go get in line and get one of those wristbands so we can come back. Because I think everybody's got to be there, really, to get a wristband. But those were, like, gone by, like, 10:05. As soon as the doors open, people get in there, boom. Those wristbands were gone and come back at certain times. And they were doing that for some people, but I think it was up to, like, the celebrity and their people, their handlers, if they wanted to do the wristbands to, like, come back at a later time or just, hey, let's just go through the line. Let's just get as many people as we can. I mean, I don't mind the wristbands, but if it's only going to be like the people that are getting them and the first people that are through the door, then to me it's just like I can't get one because I'm volunteering. I'm not. I have my teenage daughters that they're going to be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Just go get a wristband. Just go get one, and then we'll figure it out later. So we went to his line and said, because at one point they told me come back at like 4. So we get over there. And like right now we're not letting people in. And so we were waiting over there. And they're telling like you can't stay here, you gotta keep it moving. Whatever. So I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna walk around in circles right here in this little area. Because they told me just to keep moving back and forth. So I was like, I'm gonna keep moving back and forth. My daughter stayed over there. She was like, we're not gonna get in here. I was like, just gonna wait over here. We're just gonna wait it out. So that 4 o'clock group got done. And then they were waiting for the 5 o'clock group. 5 o'clock group started coming. They were waiting over here while the booth was over here, so he's trying to split it. And then they got to the 5 o'clock group, and I was just walking back and forth. I was talking to some of the crew people. I was like, getting a chance to go open his line. And they're like, I don't know, we can't say. And then at one point I told him, I was like, yeah, my daughter made this artwork for Matthew Lillard. She wants to give it to him. And then he was like, this guy was cool. I don't know his name, but he was cool. He was like talking to me and keep me updated because and I would ask him questions or he'd just keep me updated. And he was like, well, she could probably give it to him like when he leaves to go do photo ops because him and Screech were doing their photo ops at like 6, like an hour before. So they're doing all their autographs first at the booth and selfies or whatnot, and then going to do the professional photo ops. So we're sitting there and time's going by. It gets a little after 5, and the guy told me, yeah, they're not gonna allow no more people. And I'm like, and then my daughter starts crying, and I was like, that's when he told us like she could probably give his artwork to him as he leaves the booth to go to the photo op. and just hand it to him. Like Matthew Lillard's a cool guy. Like he's really a dope, down to earth fucking human. Like that's no cap. Like if you ever go to a Comic-Con, I'd highly advise you. And you're a Matthew Lillard fan, go to his booth and meet him. He's like the dopest, coolest motherfucker. And like, I mean, the people I've met so far have been Jamie Kennedy last year. It was funny as fuck. He's dope. He's dope. Have him sign my poster. We kind of chatting it up and things like that. And then I met Screech last year too when I got him to sign the poster. I mean, he's down to earth. Christopher Lloyd is down to earth. I was like, this is dope. Danielle that plays Topanga on Boy Meets World, very down to earth. I was like, you meet some. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be times when you meet some celebrities and they're gonna be like, ugh. But the people like the 2 years we've gone back to back Comic Cons, with just meeting the celebrities has been a great experience. Nothing bad at all. Nothing. And we met Sam, the girl that plays Sam, Melissa. She was down to earth. It was like, this is dope. It was dope. But we were waiting. We got told that they're not accepting no more people. I told my daughter, she started crying. She started getting teary. I was like, it's okay, it's okay. I mean, she was like, and then she was like, let's leave. I was like, we're not leaving. We're going to wait because around that time it was like 5:15. He was finishing up his 5 o'clock people that had 5 o'clock wristbands, and he didn't have to be at the photo op until 6. I was just thinking in my head, I was like, we're not going to leave. We're going to stay here. If anything, you're going to give this artwork to him somehow. And then some other ladies that were over there, they wanted to get in line too. They had a photo op with him. And they're like, if your daughter wants, she can come with the photo op for us. Come be in the photo op with us that we're doing with Matthew Lillard and Screech. They were doing the Scream duo with both of them. I was like, whoever them ladies were, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for offering that. And so they were offering that, so we were waiting. And then this is what I always say. Just wait it out. Just wait it out. Never leave. The moral of the story is just never leave. At one point, all the workers that are volunteers, the crews at Planet Comic Con were like, got in a huddle and started discussing. And the one guy I had been talking to and communicating with, he was like, get in line. I was like, oh yes. I was like, thank you. And then the other people in there, they're like, hey, you can get in line too. Because there was a handful of people who were still waiting, even after other people had been told like he's not signing no more, taking no more pictures. He got through his 5 o'clock group fast. So after that, they're like, oh, there's still 40 minutes before he has to go to the photo op. And so they're like, hey, you can come over here now. So we got a line. It was dope. We got up there. I asked my daughter, I was like, should we do a picture too? She was like, yeah. I was like, she was like, yes. I was like, okay, cool. We do a picture, autograph combo, get up there, meet him. She hands him the artwork. He goes around, sticks it on the curtain behind him. There was some other fan artwork. I think it was like Scooby Doo, but she had the Scream one right there. And then she showed him the poster, and she was like, "A lot of autographs on this." I was like, "That's Sam, yeah, Sam, Melissa." He was talking about like how she got kicked off and for speaking her beliefs, and I told him I was like, "That's crazy." And he was like, "That is crazy." She got kicked out of the franchise for speaking her beliefs and things like that. We're like, that's crazy. And then he signed the poster. I asked somebody if hey, can I just take a picture of her artwork that was posted back there? Because they were going to take a picture. I was just want to get it while he was signing that. He was like, no, come over here. He got my daughter, went around there. I think I showed the picture earlier, but here it is again, right there. Yeah. So he took a picture. She's still on that side. He's still on that. He's like pointing out the artwork, making silly faces like, and then I took the picture. I snapped a couple. And then I put my phone down, and then he got closer and put her arm around her. He's like, take another one. I was like, okay, yes, sir. And then he was like looking at her and was like, thank you, talking to her and whatnot. I wish I would have fucking Snapchatted this last part. But after I grabbed the poster and she went around there, I shook his hand. I was like, I really do appreciate it. Thank you. You made her day. You made it probably her whole week. He was like, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And then as we were leaving, he was like, you go, girl. You go, girl. That's a 10. That's a 10. Because he was like talking about her hair because my daughter's hair is real curly. And he was like, you go, girl. You walk it. You walk it. And then I told my daughter, I was like, you got to snap back at him. You got to snap back at him. She was like, slay. He's like, you slay, girl. That's a 10. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. Like, that's how it should be done. Like, if you got people waiting in line, just make them feel like they're the fucking greatest. Like, if you go to Matthew Lillard's booth, he makes everybody feel like that. At one point, I saw him touching some guy's beard. He was just like rubbing up like this. rubbing the guy's beard. I was like, that's dope. Some people might think it's weird, but it's dope. If they want that kind of experience, he gives it to them. Like last year when we were in the panel room, we went to the Scream panel, and then we went to Paul Bettany's panel. But the Scream panel, it had all the Scream people. It had Jamie Kennedy, Matthew, Screech, and Melissa as part of the Scream panel. And then you'll find out if you ever go to a Scream panel and they have Matthew Lillard and Screech, Billy and Stu, the characters, they play Billy and Stu in the Scream movies. They go around the audience and just start talking with the microphone. They don't even stay up on stage. And then they start asking questions. They go up to the audience and be like, hey, what's your question? And then last year, we were in line to ask a question at the microphone because there's supposed to be a line that goes up to the microphone. But they just start running around like, who's got a question? People just start raising their hand. And then we got to the last end of it and it was like, one more question. And my daughter's standing there. He's like looking around and he walks and I'm like pointing at her and like other people are pointing at my daughter because she's wearing her Scream shirt. It says, I love scary movies too with the pink hearts. I don't know. I have to find it. It's a pink, it's Ghostface. He's got a knife. It's got like pink hearts and it says, I love scary movies too. And everybody's pointing at her, and he goes to her, puts her arm around her, and say, "What's your question?" What she says her name, and then what's your question? And it's like it's on YouTube. Like I didn't realize that they recorded it, but I was recording it because they said don't record. I was like, no, I'm recording this. My daughter's getting to ask a question while Matthew Lillard Stu from the Scream franchise is having her ask a question, and he's standing right there. So I just thought that. But overall, Comic Con was great. I would say the 2 years we've been in a row, we haven't really got to walk around and like look at like other people's booths that set up exhibitors and things like that. Because last year was like we stood in line, we went straight to Paul Bettany's line, and then after that we had a photo op with Paul Bettany, we had a photo op with the Screencast, and then we went and got Sam's autograph, the girl Melissa, girl that plays Sam in the Scream franchise. And then after that we couldn't get in Matthew Lillard's line or Screech's line. So I was like, I was working the next day. I'll try to get one of those two. But I was happy that we got what we got to last weekend. Never forget it. That was dope. I mean, really, we just wanted to do those two things. Picture with Christopher Lloyd, autograph with Matthew Lillard. He got the picture. Both of my daughters gave each celebrity their artwork and they enjoyed it. I was like, this is dope. But I will say this, like, if you gonna go to Planet Comic Con and you're trying to get multiple people's stuff, I would say you gotta go all 3 days. Because if you try to all cram it in one day, yeah, I don't think you're gonna get everything. You're not gonna get everything you want to. Like if you're planning, you want to meet multiple people and do this, get there as soon as the doors open and go all 3 days. That way you can spread it out. Because if you had the opportunity to go all 3 days, I'd probably like let's go on Friday early, right when it opens. See, we can just get Christopher Lloyd. Maybe we could have got a wristband and gone and walked around and enjoyed Comic Con and things like that. So I'd say get there early, go all 3 days. Go all 3 days and get there early. Get there, be in line. So as soon as those doors open for the general mission, you're up there. Let's go. Go to the booth you need to. If they're handing out wristbands to come back at a specific time, go get it. But yeah, I enjoy Comic Con. Plan to go. I mean, really, next year, I don't know if I'm going to volunteer just because I told my wife, real estate agents now, we should get a booth. I think next year at Comic Con 2026, our plan is to get a booth. And because we're real estate agents, so we're trying to, meet new people, get info from people and things like that. As real estate agents got to do it, generate leads. I think our idea is to get a booth and have some type of drawing and things like that. We draw at the end of the Comic Con on Sunday, so it's usually 3 days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday. On Sunday, we have a drawing for to win a prize, to win a basket of different prizes in the basket. So that way, we're able to get contact information for people. Because that's what you need to do as a real estate agent, right? But also, we want to get that booth. But I was like, also, we should dress up. We should dress up as something from a movie, whatever, or a TV show, some type of characters. I mean, at one point, we were like, we should dress up as the Adam family. Have our daughters come. I could be Uncle Fester, or I could be Gomez, and my wife could be Morticia. One of my daughters could be Wednesday Adams, and the other could be. Both could be Wednesday. I could be Uncle Fester, and just shave my head and put on the makeup and wear the black tight gown and be Uncle Fester. But that would be dope. Or we could dress up as Back to the Future. We could dress up as Marvel characters and be like, hey, come to our booth, real estate agents. We're out here just And if you're trying to meet new people, trying to network and things like that, hey, we also have a drawing. I think that's our idea for next year. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see. But I want to do that because I think that'll be fun. I don't think I'd be able to volunteer. I might volunteer on the because you could also volunteer at Comic Con on days that Comic Con's not actually going on because there's like days where they need to load in and people come in and they need to get stuff organized to get shirts and stuff and badges and bags ready for the crew that's coming in that needs to pick up their stuff. So there's other stuff you can do. So I may just do that if I plan to have an exhibitor, we have a booth for the Kennedy team with Better Homes and Garden Real Estate in Kansas City. But that'll be fun. I wonder who they're gonna have next year. I went in one of the comments. I was like, let's get Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch. I mean, that dope because my daughter has a card. I bought her cards for that Christmas, not this past Christmas, the last Christmas before last year's Comic Con of WandaVision. I was like, you can get one of these cards. Let's do this one. They had both. They had Vision and Scarlet Witch from WandaVision. I was like, well, get him to sign that side. He signed that side. He even said, look, I left a little room just for Elizabeth. If you ever get that one, I was like, yeah, that's the next one. That's probably the next big autograph to get from my oldest daughter. Try. Hopefully she goes to some Comic Cons. Hopefully they can get her. That'd be dope. Oh, yeah, we'll definitely get it. We will definitely get that on the other side. And then I would get that in case I'd probably get it graded for her and let her be like, here, this. She already has it in her room, but if she got Elizabeth Olsen's autograph on the other side, I'm like, let's go. Let's go get it graded, encased, sealed, boom, set it up pretty. And on the screen poster, I want to get Nev Campbell. I think we want to get Nev Campbell, Sidney Prescott's autograph on it. And then I think I would I don't know the likelihood of getting Courtney Cox or David Arquette's autograph on that poster. I'm cool with that. But if we got uh Nev Campbell's autograph, I think then I would get it enclosed, mount it, and then my daughter could hang it up in her room. But yeah. But yeah, that was our time at Comic Con this last weekend. Great shit. I enjoyed Comic Con. Some people just don't. I saw somebody in the chat room on Facebook, not a chat room, but on Facebook talk about. I don't get it. I would never stand in line for hours just to take a picture with another man. I'm like, okay, what's your point? What was so whoever said that? What was the need to say that for? Why? People enjoy their lives. Don't act like there's nobody out there that you wouldn't stand in line. And then I think I read in the comments, he said, I'd stand in line for Jesus. I'm like, okay, I can see that. I mean, I stood in line because my kids but I wanted to meet Christopher Lloyd too because I grew up watching that. That's part of my childhood. I mean, yeah, but what's the point? Why are you trying to down people? Come on now. Come on now. I mean, yeah, I'd stand in line. I don't mind it. It's fun. It's cool. Like, how often do you get that opportunity though? It's like they come out here and they do this, and like I said, the last 2 years we've had all positive experience with all the celebrities. So I fucks with it. Let's go. But we're gonna take a quick little break, and then we're gonna be right back and get into some of this Disney and Marvel news announcements. We'll be right back. Yo, deal. We are back here. Let's continue this because I know I spent a lot of time on Comic Con, but I want to tell stories and tell about Comic Con. And like, if you get is there somebody at Comic Con you want to see? Go. I think it's worth it. I really do. I think it's a good time, especially you can see all the different people dress up as different characters from different movies or TV shows or book characters or whatever characters. It's a great time. I just wish we had time to go around and just explore. But we go in the one day we're trying to get this person's autograph, a picture, and that takes up all of the day. But it'd be fun just to go around and explore because there's so much stuff. Like I had to go find a cover to put the artwork in. Cause I was like, let's go find it. So I went around, was walking around, and like some of the stuff I was seeing, I was like, oh, should we have time just to walk around and view stuff? Yeah. So if you ever get a chance to go to Comic Con, even if you don't want to, like, there's no celebrities you want to meet, just go and experience it. Like, I think it's a great experience. I really do. I think it's a great experience. But let's keep this show rolling. On to some Disney news. So Disney announced, and I'm gonna get to Disney news and then some more studio news. But Disney announced a few days ago, some new stuff happening at their parks. If that's your thing, listen, I fucking love Disney. I love going to Disney World. We are going to Florida at the end of May, beginning of June this year. And one of our stops is I'm always gonna go to Disney World. We're staying at Airbnb. It's a big family vacation. There's like 12 to 15 of us going. So we're not staying on Disney property, but I love going to Disney World. I love Disney. You see my tattoo of my dad. I don't know if you can see this shit, but it's the Magic Kingdom castle. Like how you see on the credits when the Disney movie pops up. So like the firework thing and the castle. But instead of Walt Disney's name, it's my dad's name. Because he loved Disney too. I'm just a big Disney kid. I'm a Disney adult. Is that how they put it? I'm a Disney adult. So like anything Disney related, I'm out here. Let's go. Like Disney World, I want to know what's happening. I've never been to Disneyland. I do want to go to Disneyland. I want to go to Disneyland and then the other park next to it. I've never been out there to the California Disney. I've been out to Universal Studios Hollywood, and to me, that is somewhat different than Universal Studios Orlando. And I like it out there because they have a lot more stage shows and things like that, and I like that type of stuff. I like that. I like movie stuff. But Disney, I'm just a big Disney kid. I have a Mickey Mouse baseball jersey. Disney. Like I'm out here. Like I fucking love it. So, but Disney had some news right that came out earlier this week. Just some stuff about their parks, and this was about their parks. So Hollywood Studios. You ever been to Hollywood Studios in Florida? They got Tower Terror. They got the Star Wars whole their own fucking section. Slingy Dog. Love that ride. Toy Story Area Land, the Buzz Lightyear shooting game, the Rock and Roller Coaster, a Frozen sing along, Mickey's Runaway Railroad. Nothing can stop us now. See, I'm a big Disney geek. Like I'm telling you, look, come on now, I'm a big nerd. They got some new stuff happening. We can start the Little Mermaid musical, Little Mermaid: A Musical Adventure. It's replacing the Voyage of the Little Mermaid, which if you've been to Hollywood Studios, it's like a 15, 20-minute show that was there at the Voyage of the Little Mermaid where she sang and did this and did that. It's one of those shows you go to and cool down if it's a hot day. But they're replacing this with a new Little Mermaid show that will be opening this summer. So it's going to be different. It's going to be Little Mermaid, a musical adventure. It's fully reimagined theatrical show inspired by the animated movie. It would include a mix of live actors and puppets. It will finally debut May 27th. So maybe I might have to hit that up because we're planning to go to Disney World and we're planning to do park hoppers. So we're going to try to like navigate park hopping. I've never park hopped before at Disney. Like usually we don't stay on the resort because there was always a lot of us, and we just stay in an Airbnb because the last time we went, we stayed near the beach. So we just went to one. Me and my wife got married in 2023. We just went to one park. We went to Hollywood Studios. But go check that out. So we're planning to park hop. This is going to be interesting. I'm still trying to plan how we're going to do it and what rides we're going to get on. But they have that at Hollywood Studios. And then they're also getting a new show, which I believe is going to be a Magic Kingdom. Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After is a new thing that is happening. It's a show. It's a villain show. So now villains, because at Magic Kingdom, they are getting a new Disney Villains. Like they're going to have their own section of like rides and stuff. And you can go meet villains because they don't really have the villains at Disney World. I don't know about Disneyland, but at Disney World, they don't really have like the villains. So you know all the villains, Cruella DeVille. I can't think right now. Who's from The Little Mermaid? Oh boy, I'm botching this shit. I know. Leave me alone. It's been a long day. Hey, this weekend has been long. We did 2 open houses yesterday, so just my brain is kind of mush, mush, mush right now. But they're gonna have a Disney Villains eventually, but they're doing a show which is going to be fun. That's also opening May 27th. And I believe that's going to be, is that going to be we're going to have Captain Hook, Maleficent, Cruella DeVille, and more. Oh yeah, that's going to be great. I might have to hit that up. Where is that going to be at though? Let me see. Where is that going to be at? Is that going to be, it's either at Magic Kingdom or Hollywood. It didn't really say. Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios. Unfairly Ever After is at Hollywood Studios Disney Villain Show. But I know they're getting a Disney Villains area. I believe that's at Magic Kingdom. But that's like, I think next year. Next year to get that. So 2 things are getting at Hollywood Studios. The Little Mermaid, a musical adventure, and the Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After. A show. Probably sing along. It's going to be great. And have all the Disney villains. That's going to be dope. That's going to be dope. And then the Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, that's at Magic Kingdom. I believe they did some upgrades to that. Because that one, the Buzz Lightyear. See, there's a Toy Story one at Hollywood Studios, which is easier to get points on. But the Buzz Lightyear one at Magic Kingdom, I always sit next to my wife and do it. And it is hard. And she always beats me at the Buzz Lightyear. The Buzz Lightyear one, she always beats me. Always. And I get mad but apparently they've done some updates to it to make it a little bit easier to gain points. So we'll have to see. If I get a chance to go to Magic Kingdom this year when we're park hopping, I want to go, and I'm challenging my wife to it. Think she's gonna be out here to beat me? No, I'm not gonna do it. So hopefully that upgrade helps me out a lot. But then I think that was about it. They're adding some kin zones, some new early entry additions. Like third park early, hotel guests can enter the park each day. Not all parks are open, but now Disney's adding more offerings. But that's if you're like staying on the Disney Resort. If you're staying on the Disney Resort, then that benefits rope dropping 30 minutes early before it opens to the rest of the crowd. So just a little few updates to the Disney World at in Orlando, Disney Resorts, which I plan to go to. We plan to park hop for Disney. I have rides. Our goal is to get through nine rides. I think it's like three at each park. There may be a show in there in between too, but we'll see. I don't know where we're going to end up at the end to see which fireworks show. I think I think the plan is to start at Hollywood Studios and then go from there and hit up these rides at Epcot or maybe even Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom, and wherever we end up at the night, that's where we end up. But it's gonna be fun. But those are some updates on Disney. But let's get to the big news. I ain't gonna take a break. We're gonna get right into this. So when we were driving back from Garden City on Wednesday, Marvel, we stopped at a Qdoba. We were about like hour and a half away from getting home. We stopped at Qdoba. As we're in the parking lot, I'm looking at my phone. Marvel announcement. Marvel Studios Live. I click on it. They have an announcement. I told my daughter, I was like, Marvel announcement. I know what the fucking announcement was. All I saw was a chair there with somebody's name on it. I forgot whose name it was, but had a name on it. It was like one of those actor chairs that they sit in on set. Had a name on it. Asked my daughter, I was like, we're leaving. I was like, you still watching? You said anything yet? She's in the back seat. She's like, no, it's still showing the chair. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then probably like 20 minutes later, as my daughter was like, you checked out Marvel announcement yet? They announced anything? She's like, no. She looked back. It's still a chair, but it's got somebody's name on it. I was like, I'm driving. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I look at it at one point. At one point, I saw like 26,000 people at one point. To me, this was genius, the way they did this. This announcement, all they did was show names of the actors. And when I say actors, I mean women too. I just don't mean men. I categorize, you're an actor. You act in movies, whether you're a man, a woman, anything in between, transgender, I don't care. An actor is an actor. I'm not going to call women actresses because I think they deserve the same respect as men. They're all one. You're all an actor. Your job is acting. You're an actor. I'm not going to say actresses. You're an actor. I'm referring to everybody, not just men when I say actor. So they just had different actors' names. And I didn't know what the fuck they were doing. I didn't know what it was about. And then eventually, I think my daughter saw it and she said, it's all the cast members, because at the end they show Robert Downey Jr. standing in all these chairs of all the cast members they announced for talking about Avengers Doomsday is in production. I'm like, that is fucking brilliant. I'm like, all the chairs were the names of people that are going to be in the movie. And then my daughter was telling me some of the names. I was like, wait, that's that? I was like, because she's in the back seat. I'm just like, that person? I'm like, let's go. So the big announcement was them naming people who were going to be in the movie, Avengers Doomsday, because that's the next Avengers movie. This sets up the end of the multiverse. So we'll have Avengers Doomsday, and then we'll have Avengers Secret Wars after that. But Avengers Doomsday is not coming out until 2027. It was supposed to be 2026, but then it got pushed back, which I'm okay with. I don't want them to rush it. I want it to be as good as Infinity War and Endgame, which I think is going to be. But what they announced right now, I'll just go through like who they announced. You're going to have Thor, you're going to have Loki, you're going to have Captain America, Anthony Mackie's Captain America, you're going to have Ant-Man, Black Panther, Leta Wright, you're going to have Shang-Chi, the Falcon, you're going to have, who else? You're going to have Winter Soldier, Yelena, you're going to have Wyatt Russell, who plays the Walmart version of Captain America, U.S. agent, Red Guardian, you're going to have Ghost, you're going to have Professor X, you're going to have all these people from the old X-Men that Fox owns. So that's going to be dope because after the multiverse, it's the mutant X-Men Saga's next. So that's exciting. You get all these people from the old X-Men movies from the early 2000s and things like that. You also get people from the Fantastic Four, Pedro Pascal's Mr. Fantastic, you get the Invisible Woman, you get the Thing, and you get the Human Torch, and you're also getting Namor from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So this is going to be dope. Like, I'm geeking out, and It was like I said, I'm geeking out. I can't wait. Listen, I love everything that Marvel's done. I have no complaints, none whatsoever. The TV shows, the TV series, I've enjoyed all of them. I have. She-Hulk gets so much hate, and I don't know why. And you can come on here and tell me why. It still ain't gonna make a difference. Well, it's stupid and blah 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 blah. This and doesn't live to the comics. I don't care if it follows the comic books. You can't just follow the comic books. You gotta come and take it and make it into reality now. You gotta put it on screen, whether it's TV show or movie or film. That's what people don't understand. But like I said, get your hundreds of millions of dollars and let me see you do better. Go ahead. I'll wait. But I'm excited for this, for the cast they've announced so far. It's gonna be interesting, like low key. Because he's keeping the timeline together. I'm like, are they gonna use that version of Loki or is it gonna be another version of Loki? I really don't know. 'Cause, like I said, I'm blind to all this. I didn't read the comics, so I don't know how all this plays out. I really don't. I'm just excited. I know some people complain that Robert Downey Jr. was cast as Doctor Doom, but I had read that there was a version of Tony Stark who was Doctor Doom in the comics. So you can't really get mad if you want them to follow the comics, but then they do, and you're like, this is stupid. How do you make this work if Iron Man already died? It's the multiverse. You can make any story fucking work. And some people say that's just lazy. That's lazy writing. That's laziness. Bullshit. Listen, I don't care. It's the multiverse. That's how the multiverse works. There's multiple versions of different people playing different characters. Some good, some bad, some in between. Some are just like, what the fuck is this person? You know what I'm saying? Just like the Conqueror said, I'm the best version of myself. The other ones you don't want at all. Now we don't get that because of stuff that happened outside, personal stuff. But now we have this, and I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna enjoy every single moment of it. And I get some people are mad because why wasn't Spider-Man announced? Why wasn't the Hulk? Why wasn't this cast member announced? Why wasn't this? Scarlet Witch saying she's not gonna be in Doctor Doom. Listen, here's the thing. Now I will say Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, may not be in it because I have read and heard from other sources, going out there on the sphere and other people who are like into Marvel saying the Spider-Man 4 movie takes place at the same time as Doctor Doom, Avengers Doctor Doom. So Doomsday, right? It takes place at the same time. So it would be hard for him to be in if that's the actual case. But Andrew Garfield's out there, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man's out there. You can have one of them or both of them. And I get it. Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen said, I'm not going to be in Avengers Doomsday. Andrew Garfield said the same thing before Spider-Man No Way Home, right? And what happened? There's Andrew Garfield just coming out, the little circle thing, and boom, the portal, coming out the portal, and there he is. You don't know. We don't know who's going to be on it. And the cast they announced, that's probably not all of the cast. I guarantee you there's going to be some more surprises. Will they make an announcement? They might. I think they'll make another announcement of other cast members, but I also think there's going to be some surprises. If it's what's true about Spider-Man, I don't expect Tom Holland Spider-Man to be in there, but I expect either Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield Spider-Man to be in there. I would like to see some other cast members. Yeah, I want to see Scarlet Witch. Matter of fact, I just want to see Scarlet Witch get her own movie. She was in the Multiverse of Madness. I want to see her in her own movie. Okay, right? But I do think she will be in the movie. Hell, I think they might take some characters out of fucking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., even though they're canon. And they're not part of the MCU, even though some of their storylines, they talked about Avengers, Age of Ultron in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is a fabulous TV show. I love that TV show. But I would love to see Chloe Bennett as Daisy Johnson, Tremors, in there. I think Agent Coulson, did I read Coulson's going to be in Doomsday? I don't know. I have to go back and look. But I would like to see some of those characters because technically Daisy Johnson is a mutant. And technically she should be in the X-Men, in that universe when we finally get to that. But yeah, you didn't even see Captain Marvel. I think it's going to be more announcements and they're going to announce some more cast members. But I also believe that you're going to see some surprises. I think Scarlet Witch will be in there. I think she's just saying that because they want to keep it a surprise. If she's not in there, I expect her to be in Secret Wars. I expect her to be in that. I expect there to be a whole lot of people in this movie, in both movies, Doomsday and Secret Wars. But I just can't wait till it happens. And I'm going to enjoy all the stuff in between because we got a Fantastic Four coming out. Ironheart TV series is coming out. There's Wonder Man coming out this year at the end of, I want to say like November, December. Marvel stuff, Marvel phases. Let's go to Marvel Cinematic Universe because we got Fantastic Four. Okay, here we go. Phase 5 is ending with I believe it's ending with the Thunderbolts because that's a movie. But they also have Daredevil Born Again. But the movies. But they also have TV shows. Yeah, Ironheart. Ironheart because they got the Daredevil Born Again has just came out. I haven't got a chance to watch that. I really got to go back and watch the other Daredevil shows before I get to this. But Ironheart comes out June 24th, and then Fantastic Four comes out. Marvel's Deadpool, Wolverine, Captain Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts comes out. Fantastic Four is the start of the next phase. So Thunderbolts come out this year. In that comes out May 2nd. Ironheart comes out June 24th. And then after Ironheart, it's Phase 6. Phase 6. That's like so after Ironheart, Phase 6 starts with the Fantastic Four. Yeah, they start with the Fantastic Four. It starts a Phase 6. 2025 to 2027 is going to end with Secret War. The Secret Wars. Because Avengers Doomsday is going to be first. So Fantastic Four, Avengers Doomsday, Spider-Man 4, and then Avengers Secret Wars. But then there's also going to be television series, Eyes of Wakanda, Marvel Zombies, Wonder Man. That comes out this year. Daredevil, Born Again Season 2. Vision Quest, I'm excited for that. That's next year. And then Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was an animated series. Eyes of Wakanda and Marvel Zombies are animated, and Your Neighborhood Friendly Spider-Man. But Fantastic Four comes out July 25th. So that's the start of Phase 6. Phase 5 ends. Ironheart is the last of Phase 5. And then Phase 6 ends, and that is your end of your multiverse saga at the end of Secret Wars. And it's going to be fabulous, and I'm going to enjoy every single moment of it. If you have to complain about Marvel stuff, you're just not happy in life. That's all I got. That's all I got. But I'm here. I'm here for it. I'm excited. Let's fucking go. That's all I got for today. Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share the podcast. Check it out on Spotify, the audio version. If that's what your flavor is, you want the audio version. You don't want to watch my dome, my face, my big bald head, my egg head. But also I always wear a hat because I got an egg head. You know, like. But I really do appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Comment on what you look forward to movie wise this year. I look forward to Mission Impossible. Oh, I can't wait till that comes out. That's gonna be dope. Movie theater for that one. Movie theater for Thunderbolts. Movie theater for Fantastic Four. I'm excited about that. I like me some Pedro Pascal. Yeah, hell yeah, let's go. But I'm just excited. Comment on what you're excited for. Movie, TV show wise, The Last of Us. Season 2 comes out in April. Let's fucking go. That's like in a couple weeks. I don't want to say it's April 13th. April 13th. April 13th. The Last of Us. Let's see if I'm good. Last of Us Season 2. Come on. April 3rd. I can't wait for that shit to go, bro. Do I need to play the video game? No, I don't. I've already played it through twice. Part 2. I don't need that. To me, here's how I'll say this and I'm gonna get out your hair. The Last of Us Part 1, the video game, to me was the great. As soon as I started playing, I felt like I was just in a movie playing a movie, right? And I was like, this is great. This is fucking great. You play Ellie, you know, you got him, and then I was like, this is the greatest video game ever. Like, I fucking fucks with it. You know what I'm saying? I fucking fucks with this game. I was like, yes. And then they came out with part 2. I started playing part 2. They killed that mother. I don't want to spoil it, but something happened. I was like, no, fuck that motherfucker, right? And then you get through the game. I felt like I was on the most emotional roller coaster ride ever in a video game. The Last of Us Part 2. I felt so emotional, or I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to play this game no more. That's how emotional it was. I felt like I was just being torn in 2 parts. So just wait until Season 2 comes out in a couple weeks, so April 13th. It's going to be great. But that's all I got for today. Thank you. Like I said, thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Until next time, I'm out. Let's get it. I gotta go. I got some stuff to do. I gotta get done for work this week. So I'm out. Let's go.